Hi, I'm Julie. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite mixed media techniques called Watercolor Resist. For this project you're going to need oil-based crayons or oil pastels and a tray of watercolor paint. You're also going to need a paintbrush and some water. The premise behind this project is that water and oil don't mix. So when you draw with an oil crayon and paint right on top of it with watercolor paint, your initial drawing stays put and the watercolor paint flows over and around your drawing and fills in the open spaces, creating a dreamy effect. There's not a perfect science to this technique. I can use any colors that I want, and I want to press fairly firmly down to make sure that my oil pastel will be able to resist my paint. I can even use white for a really cool effect, which I'll show you as soon as I start painting. I can draw and fill in as much or as little as I want because my paint is going to do the rest. Let's see what happens here. So I've got my oil pastels down and now I'm just going to paint on top and see what I get. If my paint is too thick, I need to add water because in some cases it is, you can see here, in some cases it might actually go over my oil pastel, but in other cases it is going to go around it. I see that my purple is pretty thick, so I'm going to loosen it up. And then when I paint over, you can see the outlines that are left. The cool thing about this technique is the paint does a lot of the work to make it look dreamy and interesting. I'm still not super happy with the way my cup turned out because I think I got too much paint over my pastel. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of tissue paper, blot away some of the paint, and I can see my drawing underneath. Like I said, sometimes with the pastel and the paint, it's not really a precise science, so you just kind of have to keep working it until it looks the way you want it to. And that's it. If you look closer, I can bring it up a little bit, you can see even better how the oil pastel lines stayed where they were to create your image, and how the paint worked around and through it to give the whole thing a dreamy effect. And that's Watercolor Resist.